Welcome back to Grindle Garage. Last you saw us, we were at Drift Mansion, had an awesome time, but we threw out third gear in the transmission. So I needed to take it somewhere reliable that could actually build that transmission back to, well, better than it was before. So put the word out there and got a ton of feedback. Faster Proms is the place to go. So I hit up Juan and Jeremy at Faster Proms, and they hooked me up not only with putting my new transmission in, but they actually got, in 10 days, they did a stage 2 cam, built the head, imported the heads, and upgraded my harmonic balancer. Did a bunch of stuff for me, found some issues, fixed the issues in that same time frame, and got me running. This thing sounds amazing now, and we are actually picking up the car today and heading straight to Sebring for Pro-Am Round 2, which is going to be a really awesome time. So before we head out there, I'm going to show you the car, the new stuff done to it, and Jeremy and Juan are going to talk about some of the stuff they did.
We are here with Mr. Grindle's car. We did run the good old Hot Boy tune. I'm just kidding, we're not doing that. But we did a VTR 2 cam in it, valve springs, basically all your supporting mods. Your he had a worn out balancer, we put an ATI balancer on there. Basically just went and did an overall health check on the car. I did find some couple things in it. You can put that in the clip, like the oil pickup too. That was an interesting find, but you know, always taking the extra step to making sure this car is very healthy, so he can continue ripping on this car and doing fun things with it. So Jeremy's gonna take the rest of that, and yeah, hope you enjoy the car, man.
So you heard from Juan, I'm here with Jeremy, and we're talking about what he did to the Corvette today. He's going to talk a little bit about Faster Proms. I'm going to show you some video of the car while he's talking and kind of just give you a brief overview of everything we did. We actually gained a whole bunch of power. We're going to be able to plant that power better with our transmission in our drive lane. So he's going to tell you guys a little bit about that and kind of tell me a little bit about it because I didn't get the whole thing until right now.
All right, well, good to meet you. It's been pretty fun. This actually worked out really very much like we expected. It actually exceeded expectations a little bit. The car has a 410 gear that actually makes it dyno less, but it's actually very favorable for the torque multiplication. And here at Faster Proms, we do specialize in C5, C6, C7, and even some C8 stuff. So we're pretty much late model GM, and we specialize in the engine that you have, which is of course LS. So we can make a lot of power out of this. And we took something that was already working and existing pretty good and just optimized it. So this comes with a good set of heads. We raised the compression ratio up on it, ported it, has a bigger intake and exhaust port on it. We do all our porting in-house. We also ported the intake manifold. So this thing's really just an air pump, and all we're wanting to do is be able to fill the cylinders at a higher and higher RPM, which will definitely make a lot more power. So you picked up, I want to say, a little over 120 all the way at the top end.
That's huge. That's more than 20% of what I had in the first place. So.
Yeah, and it had really good bones, but what we're trying to do is just get it to not only make power pretty much from 2,500 RPM, but all the way to about 6,900 RPM rev limit is what we got in there. We did something that wasn't absolutely the craziest. We want you to be able to have this thing live and last, but we just kind of gave it a look out of everything that needed to be done, and I think we checked all those boxes. But yeah, I can't wait for you to drive it because it's gonna rip. Like I could tell on the dyno going through, it was really, it felt like it had an aggressive gear ratio, but that's also an indication of a lot of torque. And it made like 400, I think it was 35 pound-feet of torque for the tires, which is, again, that's probably about 70 more than what you had when you came in, so it should be nice difference.
I mean, we know how important torque is for drifting. When you let off the throttle, you're in the corner, all of a sudden you need to speed up and catch the guy in front of you. The torque is going to be super beneficial, especially down low like you're talking about, which we're going to go test out tomorrow. We've got a practice day at Sebring, which is not too far from here. It's going to be Pro-Am on Sunday, the competition, so we're going to be able to do a full day of testing, get familiar with the car. An extra 120 horsepower is going to make my driving style a little different, so getting used to that is going to, the whole day is going to be super beneficial. And then Sunday we're gonna do the competition and hopefully be able to kill it there, man, and rock the Faster Proms logo on there, because I would have made this event without them, but I probably would have had some issues. So now we've got it dialed in and way better than I expected when I first brought it here. They did it in such a tight timeline and got it all done, got the parts ordered, the heads machined, everything was done beautifully. I couldn't have asked for better service and time. So I'm super excited to drive it.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are into the nerdy stuff and all that. We have like 4 drift cars here, so we've definitely done some stuff with that. But we get into a lot of the nerdy build stuff and the technical stuff of how you can make a bunch more power with these. So you can check out our YouTube channel under Faster Proms. We got a whole lot of stuff, all sorts of different builds, but it is very good and entertaining.
Make sure you do go to his YouTube channel, because they're here in Clearwater, Florida, which is pretty local to us, and they are literally right next to Showtime, which is a pretty big drift track. There's a lot of people there. They have events all the time, so you can come out here and see them drift, maybe get some ride-alongs. They've got a ton of cars with cages, so definitely suggest coming out and having a good time. Well, I appreciate you working on the car and doing our little video, man.
No, it was good, man. Thank you again.
It is competition day here at Sebring. We had a whole day of practice yesterday, which we had some issues with. I didn't do a whole lot of reporting because there was no tandems. It was just practice all day and then qualifying. So I just had a bunch of work done to the Vette, as you guys saw, and I wasn't able to get it aligned in time, unfortunately. So the alignment was off. I think the steering rack has a little bit of play in it, which it's a new steering rack. Just haven't had the time to test it out. It needs to be remanufactured a little bit. Ended up having some issues with tires rubbing in the front after putting some thicker tires on there. So we've been trying to figure out exactly where the tires are rubbing and how we're going to increase the offset so that we aren't limiting ourselves one direction or the other. So what we did was threw some spacers on there. About to switch tires out to a thinner tire so it's not rubbing against the frame or the arms, and that should help us from spinning out, which happened a few times yesterday because essentially I would sweep, hit angle, instead of being able to hit full lock, the tire would rub and essentially break that side of the car and spin me around. So we got it pretty tuned in yesterday to the point where we were able to qualify. Got like just threw a number on the board, got a qualified 13th, I think. So we do have to do a top 32 run today after a bunch of practice. So hopefully that practice will help us kind of feel the car out now that we've fixed everything, get that fine-tuned dialing in so that we can get some better runs. But the track felt pretty good. It was a fun route that they set up. Some of the zones are pretty tricky and very technical at the end, which I like, but it definitely causes some discrepancies with judging, that's for sure. But the Corvette looks good. We're getting the new front situated right now. Got our new logos on there on the roof. Got our Faster Proms logo. And yeah, she's running very nicely. That cam is chopping real well. It's accelerating very quickly now. Just have a lot more power to be able to just stick it in third gear and throw it down. This track I am having to downshift at the end, getting into third, entering, staying in third, having to downshift into second at the end. So with the new transmission, trying to get a feel for that. I definitely missed a couple shifts yesterday. Had to pop back out and get back in. So we'll work on that timing. Hopefully we'll get it down flawless so that the run looks smooth like I didn't even do it. So we're gonna go do our driver's meeting and then head into a bunch of practice, which you guys will see some video of when I record it, now that we have time. And then we'll head straight into top 32.
She's not around, she's beautiful, but I'm beautiful inside. You think about me like every other hour. When she's not around, you wanna know what it feels like to be mine. This is all I ask of you. Let me change your point of view. I could love you better than I know you want it. You know that you want it. You want it.
Right next to your toolbox.
I'm like preparing.
All right, so we just got a bunch of runs in. The car feels much better. Got a lot of tandem practice in, and we were able to dial in the grip in the rear once we got the front suspension situated, found some loose components and such. They're still checking everything, as you can see. Team's doing awesome. I appreciate Vince, Jose, Kevin being my spotter, and crew. So they have been absolutely making this a beautiful event that I can focus on driving for. So props to them. Couldn't do it without them. We are like the first battle up for the bracket. There are a lot of bye runs. We did not get a bye run, so we're like first, and then after that we have like 2 or 3 battles in between us, and then we have another battle in top 16 after the top 32. So that's what we're heading out to do. About 15 minutes. Just finished up practice. Car's feeling pretty dialed, so I'm comfortable with it, and hopefully we're gonna go out there and kill it.
have them flip-flop. You got the S chassis in the lead, Chevy Corvette in the chase. Now he comes in, filling out that outer zone. That Corvette needs to get that proximity, and he needs to reel him in as the S chassis is coming around. Nice transition, filling out the outer zone, a tire drop. Here comes the Chevy Corvette all the way around, getting a nice, good, consistent chase run. Now is that transition all the way to that final inner clip. Oh, there is a... That S chassis, man. Oh, it was getting so good, so spicy, and then that transition is going to be a killer today.
All right, we had a good run. Top 32, moving on to top 16. Putting some E85 back in the car. Our next battle is against Christian Catrone, who we've driven with lots of times. He came with us to the Drift Mansion. If you haven't seen that video, you can click up here to watch the Drift Mansion week that we did. He's a really good driver, and he's absolutely dialed in on this track, so it's gonna be a really tough battle. We are both very gripped up right now, so it's gonna be a very fast speed track right now. So we're up actually shortly. We just battled, and there's a bunch of bye runs, so we're actually up here soon.
So here we go. Andrew Grindle's going to be in the chase. Christian Catrone's going to give it. We have a Corvette battle. Almost a little bit of contact right there, but some door-to-door action making their way around that outside zone. They're mirroring each other. These cars very well tuned to each other. Lots of proximity as they come to this transition. Giving each other just enough room, a little bit of contact, and back on the throttle as they cross the line.
Doors, baby! Oh, mercy, how he came in hot and spicy. I love kind of seeing that right there. Red Chevy Corvette coming in. Got to slow down a little bit. Dove into that first outer zone. Here he comes, coming all the way around. Black Chevy Corvette, red Chevy Corvette, coming into that inner clip. Here comes that second outer zone. A little bumper scraping. Oh! Doors, baby, all the way around to that final outer zone. Going into the inner clip. Here's the transition. My goodness, how he is staying on throttle throughout that whole time. Wow.
That was a close and aggressive battle. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. It was a little bit of a weird entry. We saw a little bit of change in speed. And then Andrew Grindle, it looks like in the lead position. Unfortunately, it looks like he might have dropped 2 tires on outer zone 1. And you can see it there on the drone footage on the action replay there. We have to abide by those chalk lines. We keep putting them in the same location. And Andrew Grindle looks like both of his rear tires might have dropped off. But aside from that, I mean, these guys were partying the whole run. Those are the types of runs I like to see. That was absolutely an honor to watch.
Looks like they're out there being rowdy and just having a good time, which is a great thing, especially when you're doing this kind of battles and getting excited.
All right, and we got a winner there. Christian Catrone is going to move on. Christian Catrone is moving on to the grade 8 of competition.
Just started pouring. We just finished our battle with Christian Catrone. And I lost. I had a super awesome, aggressive chase run, which you'll see because I had my GoPro. We got some good drone footage too of that. The chase was awesome. It felt really good. We got right in the pocket, stayed on him, bumped him twice, took out his rear bumper a little bit, just, you know, flipping him right in the zones of transition. It felt really good. But then on my lead, I actually missed third gear on the run up, which set me up way later than I wanted to be, and ended up putting 2 tires on the out zone 1, which essentially zeroed my run. So even though my chase was really good, I got a 0, he automatically wins. It was fun. Christian and I are obviously cool with each other, and we shook hands, and we both did good. So excited to see how he does for the rest of the round. It's gonna be different now that it's raining though, so maybe I'll record some runs if it dries up here a little bit of other people. Other than that, yeah, we're gonna start packing up. All right, guys, we are home. That is a wrap for this webisode. Shout out to Chris Catrone for getting first place in Pro-Am. It always feels good to know that the person you lost against took the whole thing home. He's an excellent driver, very skilled, and just happy for him to take home first place for that round. Don't forget to go to grindlegarage.com. We've got a bunch of merch up there. Some new stuff came out, so if you haven't gone there recently, there's a whole bunch of new shirts and everything. Shout out to my sponsors, Silvers, Kansai, Tire Stacks, and thank you Faster Proms very much for getting all this work done to the Corvette. This round would have been completely different without you guys getting everything done that you got done, so special thanks to them. We have another event this weekend. We actually have a hurricane on the way in a couple of days, so but after that we have a ride-along event that is for charity, and it always goes to an animal shelter or some sort of program that helps animals that are in need, homeless animals. So if you want to come get a ride along and you're seeing this video as it just came out, show up to OSW this weekend, come get a ride along. I will be doing rides in the Corvette, and it's going to be an awesome time. We're going to be doing a bunch of tandems, riding all day long. People are going to be in and out of the car. It's going to be a good time. So thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.